Hi, everyone. Today, the question is going to be: is it too late to reinvent yourself? I'm going to give you the short answer no, no, not even close. Who doesn't want to change at some point in our lives? What if this is your opportunity to reinvent yourself? I mean, think about it. If you're like me, you spent your life doing one type of job or task, and now that you're not working, you're starting to think it's time to do something new, something different. You need to start with small changes, though. It's like you have to take that first step in order to walk a mile, right? In this video, I'm going to give you some guidelines to help you reinvent yourself, including a tip you probably didn't even know about. So, most of us go through a phase that suddenly we feel stagnant. Life seems to be moving faster and we're moving slower. You start asking yourself, what else can I do? Or now what do I do? I mean, it probably felt nice in the beginning, and comfy when you first retired. There was no responsibility of getting up early, getting dressed, going to work, coming home from work, starting dinner, planning what you're going to wear the next day. And then one day you get up and you're bored. You miss the old routines you had, or you're wondering what you do next today. I mean, so let's look at that. But let me just take a moment of your time to tell you how I reinvented myself by starting this YouTube channel, this So Curious YouTube channel. Best decision I ever made. I mean, I love everything about creating, organizing the systems, everything that I needed and still need to learn. And most of all, sharing it with you, all of you. It's like, because like you, I worked for 50 plus years and I loved what I did. I was a business manager, office manager, I had staff, and my forte was organizing offices and creating new systems for the businesses I worked for. When I stopped working a couple years ago, I loved it at first. I was able to get things done around the house that I put off. I could paint, I changed the decor, I organized it better. And then, just like I mentioned, one day I woke up bored. I didn't adjust to the non working life very well. And a couple days later, I turned on YouTube. And I turned it on to watch Mr. Hampay. And I don't know if you know him. If you don't gamble, you don't know him. But he goes into casinos and he bets big, and you watch him win a lot of money, and you watch him lose a lot of money, and it's just fun and it's interesting. I enjoy it. But that day, right next to Mr. Hampay was Kevin Colby, and he teaches people, according to his thumbnail, he teaches people over 30 on how to start a YouTube channel or how to create. And so I clicked on it and I was hooked. I was hooked on every video that Kevin Colby did. I liked his style, I liked the way he presented things, and I was hooked. And I knew right then that this is what I wanted to do. It's just, it was the same type of things my brain, my hands, everything was looking at doing again. I wanted to organize things and create systems and figure out the challenges that I was up against. And I got to learn new things. I never did any video editing, so I had to learn software on video editing. I had to learn how to create thumbnails. I mean, there was so much, but when I was working, it was basically the same type of principles that I used at work, and I always had new ideas, that the owners sometimes didn't appreciate, sometimes they did. So I thought, here I have a chance to do this myself, with the help of others, like Kevin Colby and other creators out there that I watch and been watching. So I got that opportunity to do basically the same thing that I've been doing all my life. And so it was no wonder that it really struck me as something I really want to do. Now I'm new. This is only going to be in the 15th video I put out. And hopefully each and every video has gotten a little bit better. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed learning something new and changing up my videos. And, I don't know where I'm going to quite land completely, but the process of doing it all is just very exciting. So I just wanted to let you know that I did it reinvent myself, and the guidelines and the tips I'm going to give you, they were things that I was already starting to do because, like I said, I didn't take the non-working life very well. So they were already things I was working on myself. So here we go. We're going to get back to what we were talking about. And now this may be a time to take a deep dive into what adds to your life and what takes away. Here are some guidelines to create change. Change is a routine. Number one, change the routine that no longer fits in your life. I mean, if you get up, take a shower, grab a cup of coffee, go sit in your couch, your chair, turn on the TV, and the next thing you know, 3 or 4 hours have gone by and you've accomplished absolutely nothing. Tomorrow, get up, take a shower, grab a cup of coffee, and go outside. Sit out on the porch, go pick a couple weeds or two, spend 5 minutes out in the yard. You have a garden, maybe grab a garden tool and go out there and trim some of the bushes or whatever. You don't have to spend a long time. Like I said, start small. Go out there and trim one of them off. Then go back, sit in your chair and drink your cup of coffee. Enjoy your day. But it gets you motivated and it gets you started. So, and then also you need to make a list of the things that you're avoiding doing. I mean, there's always something, either it's some kind of legal paperwork or a doctor's appointment that you haven't made yet. I mean, whatever it is, create a list just of those things. And then, once a week, even try and tackle at least one of them. Or if you're feeling really good, tackle a couple of them. Just get out of your comfort zone. Don't let your comfort zone hold you back. Reclaim that time and energy that you have left. Number two is remove yourself from dysfunctional relationships, or at least distance yourself from these relationships. They're not doing anything to provide you a sense of self, by holding on to those relationships. Make a plan to either create boundaries, and you have to stick to them once you create those boundaries with these type of people, or simply let them go. Look for new friends, just that aren't dysfunctional like that. It's too much. It drains on you, and this isn't the time of your life where you need something draining on you, causing you stress. Number three is let go of outdated beliefs. We all have them. Sometimes we don't even know we have them. They're called blind spots, where somebody else needs to tell you about it. Otherwise, you won't ever even understand that you have some outdated beliefs. But these are ones that so let me tell you, such as being busy means you're successful. No, it doesn't. Being busy doesn't mean you're successful. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of busy work and get really nowhere. They're just making the motions to appear that way. So it doesn't make you any more successful than someone who takes their time, plans out what they're doing, and gets the same amount of stuff done in a shorter amount of time. And they're much more successful. So Keep that in mind. You don't have to be busy all the time, no matter what age you are. And I think the younger generation has realized that faster than we ever did. I want you to concentrate more on the tasks that you enjoy. And there's a reason for this. You think, well, if I just do things I enjoy, there's other things that aren't going to get done. Not true. I mean, again, we have all worked most of our lives. And every job I ever had, there were tasks that I had to do on a daily basis that I didn't like. Um, they drained me. They or stressed me. One of the two. And then there were other ones. Say, for example, let's just say emails. Emails were something I enjoyed looking at. I liked communicating with other office people in other same businesses, other offices in different towns or cities or states. And so that was a fun activity for me. It made me happy to answer their questions, to help them out, to solve their problems, whatever the case was. I enjoyed doing that. So what I would do is, if I was working on this more stressful project, a system I was trying to put into place and looking at all the pieces I needed to get it in place, that would drain me and I would move on to email for a while, something I enjoyed. I would just go back to something I enjoyed. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, start with your tasks that you enjoy, and work your way into the harder ones after that. Independent. I know that there's quite a few of us that were raised. You need to be independent. You need to be able to think on your own. And so we did. But some of us took it a little bit too far. They went to no one's going to tell me what to do, how to do it, or when to do it attitude. They just put themselves in a box. Do you know that? All they did was take the word independent and they stuck those words in that box and crossed their arms and said, that's who I am and you're not going to change it. I don't need any help. Well, asking for help is being independent. You know why? Because you're wise enough to learn that to seek help. That's being independent. You thought of a problem and you thought of the solution. You asked for help before without realizing it. And I'll give you an example of that. Your car broke down. You took it into a repair shop to get it fixed. At that repair shop, they said, okay, we'll make sure, we fix the problem. It's all working right. Everything's running smooth. But, make sure that you are getting your oil change. It was a little gunky. So make sure you're using the, whatever they say, 6,000 miles before, to get your oil changed the next time. And also, I noticed a couple of your tires are going bald. So you might want to get that looked at and purchase some new tires. Okay. They told you what to do, how to do it. You didn't have any problem with that. You said, okay, maybe you didn't do it, but you said, okay, thank you. You went on. You're not feeling well. You go to a doctor. What does the doctor do? He checks you. He says, okay, here you go. I'm going to write you a prescription. Go to the pharmacy, pick the prescription up. Make sure that you take like 2 pills a day. Take them for a week. And if you're not feeling better after that time, then you'll need to come back. But make sure you drink plenty of water and get some rest. Well, they just told you everything that you said. I don't need anyone to tell me when to do it, how to do it, or why to do it, or however you have it in your head. Yes, this doctor just told you everything. And you left and you did all that stuff. Maybe you didn't get the right rest because you're angry at yourself a lot, because you're claiming this little box that you have, that you're too independent to reach out for help. And now, so let's look at it this way. Now is the time for you to divide and conquer and work and ask for help from others and let everybody help out. Let's give that a try, okay? The next thing is, let's go of the past so that you can build a new version of your life. We're all complex and imperfect people. Don't you find that a great thing? I do. I mean, you can't change the past. It is what it was. The choices you make for yourself today is now what defines you, not the past. The choices you make are for now. So move on from all those old disappointments you had in life. Don't make choices based on the past unless it can improve the changes you're making for your life now. It may seem daunting, but you can benefit from even a small change. Letting go allows space for you to grow, and that space can provide you with a new sense of self, giving you the room to thrive in life and in your community if that's what you choose. But here's the truth: you're not reinventing because you're lost, you're reinventing because you're still alive. You're still curious, you're still open, and it's about becoming more of who you are now. And that is something beautiful. So, how do you start reinventing your life? I gave you some guidelines to get rid of some of the old beliefs and things like that. But now we need to, oh, and you're going to hate me for this. You're going to start by setting goals for yourself. I know you've heard this before and rolled your eyes, but don't click off yet. Don't click off yet. I know you want to, when you hear the word, write down your goals, but this is where things start to happen. They're simple and easy goals. All you need to do is write down the things that you really enjoy doing, the things that make you happy, like gardening, cleaning, decluttering, mowing the lawn, working on cars, shopping, cooking, bowling, hiking. You get the point. Starting off with these goals really provides insight into how you prioritize your day or your week. Oh, but let's stop for a sec. I promised you a tip you probably didn't know about. We all have cell phones, and most of them come with some type of a notes app. And if you haven't seen that, look for it. This is an app where you can create folders or even create individual boxes to put your goals or any information you want. I mean, you could read a novel on there and it'll take the whole novel as long as you're reading it. Um, you don't have to type it in. You speak it in. You hit the microphone and you speak your goals into this list. You're going to create a list. It will put it down list by list, with a little checkbox so that when you've accomplished it, you can hit the checkbox. It moves it out of the way, and all you see on the top is the apps or the tasks that you're working on, and your goals are right there in front of you. I know that I've heard iPhones have a great app for this. I don't have an iPhone, and I use Keep Notes is my go-to notes app. Keep, and I'll try and show you how this all works on my phone, by showing you some of my stuff, because I do have a things to do list on there. And I can show you how my list is at the top, and then at the bottom is the things that I have accomplished. So once you've created that list, since this is now is not a chore to write down your goals, because you're just going to talk them into a phone, and then they're right there in front of you. So once you've created that list, you can expand now and write down or speak your daily or weekly goals or overall goals. You don't have to just go daily or weekly. I don't think I have any. I might have a few to-do lists for the day, but overall, mine are overall goals that I want to get done. So you'll need, so you will know what needs to be done. Sometimes we forget what we wanted to do that week. I mean, you do. You have so many things in your head, you just forget. And then the next week comes and you go, oh man, I forgot to do that. So this way, you'll have a list to look at and cross off or check off as you complete them. So whether you decide you want to do them at, at that time or wait for another time, that's your choice. Remember, you're older and wiser. You got this, so you take your time. You take small steps and you make it work for you. You celebrate yourself when you see how much you have accomplished. If you're starting to see changes in your routines, it doesn't mean whether it took a long time or a short time that you did a good or a bad job. No, you got it done. Doesn't matter how long it took. Keep your focus on your goals and don't let others' opinions make you feel like you can't complete anything. You have time to complete them on your own schedule. It doesn't matter what people think. They're not you and they don't live your life. So remember that. You have the right to pivot, to rise up, to dream big. It means you believe in yourself. You've already gone through so much in life and gained so much experience. Use it to reinvent yourself. When you find yourself not looking at your list anymore, or you just want to stop making that list, keep going. That's all I can tell you is just keep going. Don't let that happen to you. Start with small things first to motivate you again. Little by little, each day, you'll find that you have accomplished a lot and that you're doing something different. You're reinventing. So, here's a few tips to keep you on track. Make a to do list for each day or for the week, or as I said, overall. Use a notes app on your phone. You don't have to type it in, you can just simply talk. Number two is think about being creative now. You can sign up for classes. A lot of people still want to keep learning things. So you can sign up for classes. There are free ones if you look online. Try taking a walk, writing in a journal, painting, start decluttering everything in your house, cleaning, moving your furniture around. I love doing that. Or starting a YouTube channel. You may even be interested in doing something like that. And if you are, good, go for it. You have more experience and wisdom at this point in your life. And I know I've said that over and over again about experience and wisdom, but you do. I mean, stop and think how many times you've probably said, oh man, if I could go back, this is what I would do. Because why? You have the experience and the wisdom now to know what you should have done differently when you were younger. So don't waste that. Use that now. Take advantage of that. Start fulfilling your days with new adventures. Create a list to remember that you want to go to the beach, the library, downtown, go for a drive, try new food, make a separate little box in your app for that. So you don't forget to reward yourself or say, you know what, I'm going to the beach today. So do you think it's too late to reinvent yourself? Well, not unless you've completely stopped breathing. And even then, I bet some of us would still try. So go ahead and write that book. Go on dates. Plan some date nights. Travel solo. Speak up more. Speak up less. Start small. Start awkward because you will, but just start. And if you mess up, guess what? That's the most human thing you can do. So chuckle at yourself and move on because it's never too late to make these changes in your life. I hope that you found this video helpful and to get yourself started on reinventing yourself. And if there's anything else you want to know, make sure that you comment in the comments below so that I know that there are still questions that you have or something that I didn't answer. And I'd be more than happy to comment back or even to create a new video that brings up the things that you were talking about. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and like the video. I'd appreciate it a lot. I appreciate you if you have come back to watch me again and again. Love that. Absolutely love that. And if you're new, I hope you stayed and enjoyed yourself. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe take a moment right now to do that. Thank you all. And then watch for the next video. For right now, you are going to see the video I just created and my face. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can go ahead and just hit on my face, click on my face, and you can subscribe right there. Thanks.